Yo, Bracy Skills Clinics back with another video. Going on one of my morning walks. Got the little backpack on. You can order this on my website, BracySkillsClinics.com. Get your issue. Anyways, what I want to talk about today is a topic that it is a slippery slope to talk about because we're talking about parenting. I'm a firm believer that, you can't tell somebody else how to parent their child, how somebody else decides to parent their child. That's their business. That's usually nobody else's business, especially, as a coach. However, I'm going to just give my input on a certain topic, and those that are tuning into my channel that have kids, you can either choose to take my advice, or you can be like, hey man, I ain't listening what dude talking about. Everybody has a choice. But I am gonna put it out there because I do see it being an issue. And that is parents. You can't want it more than your child. I don't care if you were an NBA player or played college ball or played high school ball or didn't play basketball at all. I've seen parents that played at high levels wanted more for their child than their child wanted it for themselves. And I've also seen parents that never played at a high level, and I'm talking even high school, wanted more than their child. And, both sides is kind of like, because the parent didn't play in high school or didn't play in college, they want their child to experience that. Or for those that did play at a high level, their standard and expectation is so high to where they want their child to be on the same, if not better, because they experienced it. And my input on that is, I'm not going to say every time, but the situations where I've seen parents wanted more for their child than the child wanted for themselves, it's kind of like a weird connection, because when the kid stops playing basketball in particular, it seems like the relationship between that kid and that parent that wanted it more for them is not quite never the same. And like I said, I'm a young parent. My son's 3 years old. So I can't speak like I'm, the most experienced when it comes to parenting, because I'm not. But like I said, I do pay attention to how, these kids interact with their parents when, they've, been growing up for years and years with their parents basically pushing them, and the kid kind of lose interest in the game all together. And it seems like the relationship between the child and the parent is different, man. It's almost like the parent doesn't have any other connection besides seeing if their child can be a college basketball player or get lucky and go to the NBA or whatever. It seems like that relationship is never the same. So, or sometimes, there may be parents that push their child, it doesn't work out, and, the relationship doesn't get worse. But all I'm saying is this. This is what I'm saying. As a parent, you have to allow your child to go through things. And there's going to be times where they may struggle. They may go through a slump. They may have a tough period. They may not be playing as well as you would hope them to play. But when all those things occur, my advice will be, when they're struggling, they don't need another coach. Meaning that you being the parent trying to coach them every second when they probably already got their real coach, right? When they're not playing well, you know what those kids really need? they need a parent. They need you to play. You got to know when to play the role of mommy and daddy and when to play the role of, maybe trainer. I mean, of course, we know you guys, work with the kids. I mean, I'm going to work with mine. You know what I'm saying? But you got to know when to play parent and when to play trainer or coach. Because too many times I've seen, from experience, dealing with either when I was younger, dealing with, kids that were around my age that had situations like that. Or even now as a coach, when I look back and I see how, other parents deal with their kids. And my thing is, like, you got to understand it from the kid's perspective. You're their parent, okay? Depending on the situation, you see them enough. Some people don't live with both parents or whatever. But whatever your situation is, they know you as mommy or daddy. That's what they know you as. That's what they identify you as. So when you as the kid, they got to hear you say, go clean up your room. Go do the dishes. Go take the garbage out. Hey, stop acting up at school. Stop doing this. Stop doing this. Hey, you need to do this. You need to do that, right? They hear that from you outside of basketball already. Already they hear that from you. There's nothing more irritating as a kid to hear that, and then some people use this game as an escape to just be free, right? And now in their lane of escape and trying to, play a game where it takes their mind off of things, whether it's good or bad, that space that they have, they now have to hear the same type of nagging that they hear when they hear, go clean your room up, go take the garbage out, X, Y, Z. You have to understand, they only hear one voice. You're their parent. So when they hear those things, when they got to hear, go clean your room, go take the garbage out, and then got to hear, you need to play harder. Hey, shoot the ball. Hey, stop passing the ball. Hey, yo, you need to do this. Hey, now it's a turnoff for most kids. It becomes a turnoff for most kids because, shit, 3 hours ago you just yelled at them for leaving their room dirty. Now they got to go to this game and hear about you tell them to shoot the ball or don't pass the ball or you need to do this, you need to play harder, you got to run, da-da-da-da. Bro, they have no escape. This game is an escape route for certain people. So when they can't get that escape, what happens is after years and years and years and years of hearing that, you know what happens? They get burnt out. So the game of basketball no longer becomes an escape. It no longer becomes an escape for them. They're looking at like, man, this is not a place that I can escape, man. I don't want to play no more. Let me do something that I really enjoy doing where I don't have to worry about somebody nagging, telling me what to do or how I should do it. And like I said, man, like I said at the beginning of the video, y'all can take my advice or y'all can say, man, I ain't listening to what dude talking about. I'm going to do me. Hey, I'm never going to tell anybody how to parent. But I am going to say be mindful because you're their parents. They're going to hear your voice more than anybody else, more than their coach. They're going to hear your voice more than anybody else. Okay? The only time they really get to escape from you is school. Right? So just be mindful of how you deliver things, what you do say, because like I said, a lot of kids, this is an escape game for them. This is a place where they can have fun freely. I mean, even school, yeah, they're away from you, but school is structured. There's discipline at school. You can't go acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they want to act a fool in general, but I'm saying there are still a lot of things that, can irritate somebody when it comes to school, even if you're a good student. Like, think about the things you got to go through being in school with trying to study for a big test or feeling overwhelmed with homework. So school isn't necessarily an escape route because, school comes with its ups and downs. Even for those that take care of business, it comes with its ups and downs. And then on top of the peer pressure element, the peer element of friends and depending on how old you are, all that type of stuff. So school in itself is an emotional roller coaster. We all know that. So it's not like they're really escaping. So I'm just saying, if y'all can't see me, my bad, man. Hopefully the light is good. But just be mindful, man, because I would hate to see good parents and good kids have messed up relationships over this game of basketball because the kid got burnt out, the parent wanted it more than the child, and they get to become grown and now they don't even want to deal with you altogether because they're so burnt out from their youth years of nagging and all that. I'm not saying you got to be out there, it's okay, little Johnny, or it's okay, da-da-da. I'm not saying you got to be there. I'm not saying you can't say nothing. All I'm saying is delivery and make sure that you're not burning your kid out. And you can't want it more than them. You can tell them, hey, man, you got to do this, do that. You got to go get 500 shots up, 500 made shots, or go hit the weights or run miles. You can tell them. If that kid don't get it and doesn't do it and doesn't want to do it, you kind of got to let go and let God, bro. You kind of got to let go and let God, because at the same time, you can't force it. This game is not to be forced because it's cats that really want it. So if you faking it or not putting the work in, you're going to get swallowed up in basketball. That's just how it goes. So you can't want it more than them. They got to figure it out. If they not putting the work in, then it's going to take for them to ride that bench. It's going to take for them to get exposed in the game because they're not putting the work in. The game is going to teach them by itself. Regardless of what you say as the parent, the game is going to teach them by itself, by how they choose to perform in the game or whether or not they get the playing time that they think they deserve. But if they're not putting the work in, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to play. When you play at a high level, you're not going to play because when you get in the game, they're going to see that you did not prepare properly. So the game is going to teach them by itself. So as a parent, man, you just kind of got to let go and let God, bro. But they love you as a parent. So you got to make sure that you stand in your lane and being the best parent that you can be. Support them, guide them, give them advice, put them on game, but don't overdo it because you don't want that relationship being compromised over a sport, over something that's supposed to be considered an extracurricular activity. So that's my video today. Like I said, you can take the advice, you can choose not to, but I am going to speak on it because it may help somebody. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I got some exciting videos coming up. I'm going to try something different. I've never done this. My 17U will be, My 17U will be in SoCal tonight, okay? And I'm going to be doing videos, doing day recaps live on how I felt my team played that day. So if we go out there and we do well, it could be a good video. If we go out there and we don't perform to the best of our ability, it could be a different video. But regardless, either way, I'm going to do a day recap on our performance and how we did. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. But other than that, hopefully everybody have a good weekend. We out.